And happy holidays to you all. So glad. Oh, okay, my video is not off. Mm, Okay, so happy holidays to everyone, and thank you all for joining today's class, which is the continuation of our professional training on project management. I'm so glad to be here. So yesterday was a kind of day off, which was very, very necessary for us. Please, if you can hear my voice, just give me a thumbs up. Let me see if okay, thank you very much. Okay, God save you, love day Martins. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for joining us in today's class again. So it has been a long week. I want to believe, yes, everyone has been faced with one or two things, work issues, life issues generally. But we are here again today, and we are going to progress in today's class or with today's training, as the case may be. So in today's class, we are going to be diving deep into project scope management. So we've been able to exhaustively deal with project integration management, and we equally released the assessment for that particular knowledge area. So that was our very first assessment. So I want to believe everyone who is in this class has done the assessment. So please, if you haven't, endeavor to do your assessment. It's very, very important. So everything that you find in the assessment is not outside what has been taught in the classes that we have covered so far. So, and trust me, after today's class rather, once we conclude the project scope management knowledge area as well, we'll be releasing the second assessment. So each of the knowledge areas that we are going to be treating has their own assessment. So cumulatively, those assessments are what will be used to grade you at the end of this training. So someone was asking me this morning that can she still do assessment? Yes, of course you can still do your assessment. And so please, if you have not attended to it, please do. That was why we gave yesterday as a kind of break, but we are actually going to make up for yesterday's class. So usually our break should always be on Saturdays, that the weekends should be free. But because we have given the break yesterday, so we are going to be having a class scheduled for tomorrow, so that we will be able to conclude the project scope management, because we are on a schedule, because we have classes, other trainings scheduled as well. So please please bear with us. So tomorrow we are going to be having a class, so endeavor to be in tomorrow's class. The link for tomorrow's class might be different because it was outside the arranged or the prepared schedule, but don't worry, we'll definitely drop the link in the WhatsApp group, so you'll be able to join in tomorrow's class as well. Okay, so once again, I want to say welcome to everyone. So my name remains Kehinde Samson Ogumewa, an administrative officer with CC Concepts Training Company Limited. That is the firm that has brought this training to you. And our resource person, Mr. James Fanny, is also here with us. He will be joining us shortly. So in today's class, we are going to be starting with some of our materials that we have used in facilitating this training so far. So please, I want you to please just give us your undivided attention. And for the sake of those who were not part of the initial classes, we'll try to do a recap in this class, in today's class, so you'll be able to get along. But please and please try as much as possible to rewatch the videos if you have missed any. Try as much as possible to rewatch the previous videos, as we have dropped the video links on the WhatsApp platform. So this is an opportunity for you to what's it called, to just have a glimpse of what has been taught in the previous classes so far. So please, for the next 10-15 minutes, we'll do a recap into this class, then we'll go straight into project scope management, which is one of the very fundamental knowledge areas as far as this project management course is concerned. So once again, I say welcome to everyone. So please, do we have anyone who is joining us for the first time? Anyone joining us for the first time? Just signify by raising up your hand. Let me see. Anyone? Okay, that's great. So please, you are just joining us for the first time. Like I did mention, you have the opportunity to rewatch or to revisit the previous classes. And I also say a very big welcome to those who are joining us via the YouTube live channel. It's good having you as well with us. So please, at the end of the class, if you have your questions, please put them down in the comment section. We'll be taking questions after the class is over. So try as much as possible to drop your question. So we'll give the opportunity for us to be able to ask our questions. So you'll be able to unmute your mic at that point. And as the class progresses, if we need you to contribute or to give your input on certain questions that the trainer is asking, then we'll equally call on you. Just signify by raising up your hand, and I'll call on you to give your response to the question that is being asked. So without further ado, let's dive into today's class. Let me bring down the screen. So please, once my screen is up, if you can see my screen, just give me a thumbs up. Okay, can we all see my screen? Please give me a thumbs up if you can see my screen. Okay, thank you very much, Oluwakola Kemi. Thank you so much. Thank you, Godsebu Boru. Okay, so we are going to be starting today's class right about now. So please enjoy your class.
True, you must have gone through the fundamentals of project management and our previous training. I will not still be I will not make do with that. I would still like us to just have a little refreshing mind about project management. Project management professional, we started this training by defining what a project is, and in the professional view, we say that a project must be a temporary endeavor. A project must not be something permanent. It must just be something that comes up, within a period of time. So it's a temporary endeavor, which means that anything that is called project must have a starting date and a finishing date. Okay, so what will let us know if what you have at hand is a project is for us to ask you, when do you intend to start this? You say, oh, I'm starting this particular time. And when do you intend to end it? I'm ending in this particular time. So you should be able to tell us what is the duration of the project. Will it be a 3-month project? Will it be a 4-month project? Will it be a 4-year project? It's very important. We also clarify that a project can be a short-term and a long-term project, which means that you can have a project that will last, for 10 years, and you could have a project that will last for just few days. So it's important that when we say that a project is a temporary endeavor, it doesn't mean that it must be a short-term project, or it must not, be something that you can carry out for so many years. You can have a 50 years plan for yourself as a project. So it's important that we look at that. So we also say another feature of a project is that a project must be unique in its feature. A project must be unique in what it promises to deliver. So a project must be unique, either you are carrying it out to give a unique product, it might be a unique service, and it might be just a unique result. So it does not necessarily mean that a project must be something that you can interact with, that you can touch. It can be in form of a service, it can be in form of a product, and it can be in form of just a unique result. A project doesn't necessarily mean something that is new. It can be that you are bringing a new improvement to something that is already in existence. In our previous training, I gave some examples. You see some companies like Coca-Cola, they will say, oh, fine, our customers are already used with our bottle, the kind of the design of our bottle, and then they will say, okay, fine, we want to carry out a project by changing Coca-Cola bottle. We want to get a new shape kind of bottle. We want to give our clients a new kind of, design. We want to wow their experience. We want to give them something fascinating, something much more attractive, something new. different from the old Coca-Cola bottle they are used to. That is a project. Has there been a Coca-Cola bottle before? Yes, there has been a Coca-Cola bottle before. So that project is not really a new project, but it is a project that wants to give us a new product. It wants to bring an improvement to already existing products. So a project can be such. It can be that you just want to change, the methodology of recruitment in the company. So how have we been recruiting staff before? We just want to bring a new implementation, want to bring a new strategy in when it comes to recruiting staff or new workers in our company. That is a project. We want to change our location. We want to change our location. I am here at Lekki, but now I want to move to Aja. That is a project. Okay? You want to change your company location. It is a project because right now you are moving to a new environment. You have to understand the road network. You have to understand the security status. You have to understand how their market runs. You have to understand, the orientation of people in that environment. So many things will come into play for you to actually, carry out relocation even as a project successfully. So anything can be a project, but in as much it is a project, it must be such that promises something unique, either a unique product, either a unique service, or a unique result. So it is important. A project must also be such that has some kind of flexibility in terms of future extension. A project in its form must not be something rigid. In other words, when you look at some construction, there is a way that, you say the way the frontage of this building looks like. Maybe in the future, I just want to change the way the frontage looks like. Okay? So there may be an extension. Oh, I've built 3-bedroom flats before, but now I've gotten more money. I want to extend my building. So the way the construction will be done, if you have enough land space, there should be a way that, if money comes in the future and then we want to add more building to this, how do we extend this? That's why you see some people, they want to have a story building, but because they do not have enough money, they first finish the ground floor and then they will deck it, and then the deck might even be there for a while before they could raise it. That's a project already done, but waiting for a future extension. So a project should be such that you can actually extend. Who can carry out a project? A project can be carried out by an individual. A project can be carried out by a group of people. A project can be carried out by a company, and a project can be carried out by a group of companies. If you are conversant, there have been some projects that companies will come together to sponsor. There have been some situations that MTN, Glo, and Etisalat, Airtel, some projects they can unify, even though they have the same line of business. Oh, let's sponsor this particular project. They can do that. I have managed, I've worked in the telecommunication industry before, where we have all these masts, okay? That's network masts. And in that network mast, we have the cubicle of Airtel there, we have the cubicle of Etisalat, and we have a cubicle of another network, all in the same mast. So the maintenance of that mast, that network mast, the maintenance and the running of that place is collaboratively being sponsored and being financed by these three networks together. So what have they done? Perhaps while looking for space, maybe there is a limitation to getting a space where they can put their mast, and this network can actually come together and say, okay, fine, let us collaborate. This single place that we have gotten here, Etisalat does not affect Airtel does not affect Etisalat. So why don't we just, economically it is safe. So it will be the same generator that our plants will be running on. Let's put one mast here, and everybody raise their own antenna, and we lay our own fiber optics. so that what Excellent can be available, Airtel can be available, and even Blue can be available. So in my experience working in the telecommunications industry, I've seen such being done before. So that's an example that shows you that what a company can come together and collaboratively, sponsor a project. If we have like 3 companies in a particular location, and perhaps there's a poor road network and it's affecting their business, and one of the company is not buoyant enough to say, let me carry out this, and having a good road will be beneficial to the 3 companies. The 3 companies can come together and say, look, this thing is beneficial to us. Why don't we come together and fix this road so that our clients, our customers, those who want to patronize us can have a free access to our company. So the 3 of them can come together and say, let us do a road network project. So there can be collaboration on execution of projects. So these are the things that we have done in the past. I'm just taking my time for you to, even though you went through that training, this will actually bring you into the phase that we want to connect to. So examples of projects, it can be for you to develop a new product or service. It can be effecting a change in the structure, staffing, or style of an organization. I've given an example. It can be a construction of what? Of road, of a building, or any sort of. So projects has been, we have briefly discussed about what project is. So what is now project management? So project management really gives us the application of knowledge, skills, tools, and techniques to project work or to project activities in order to meet the project requirement. In other words, now project management is talking about how we can manage a project by the application of some set of skills, some set of knowledge, some set of tools and techniques, such that what that project is meant for, it promises to deliver, we can meet up with it. Part of the things that a project may promise to deliver might be that what is the project meant for? If it is a website that we are building, if the website is for us to actually have all the information of our clients there, that is actually what that project promises to do. So we want to carry out this project applying some set of skills, some set of knowledge, some set of tools and techniques, so that that project can do what it promises to actually deliver. Part of the things that make us to go into project management is that a project can fail even if you have done it in a way that it will deliver what it promises to deliver, but if you delay in delivering the project. In other words, every project has a time frame. A project that you are meant to deliver within 5 months, even though you have done everything that the project promises to do, but you delay in delivering that project. Imagine that you deliver a project of 5 months in 8 months. You have failed as a project manager. That can lead to a legal case. It can make your customer to reject the project. Some examples, funny example I normally give in a case like this is you giving a fashion designer a cloth that is meant for a particular party. The party already has a date. You want to attend a wedding ceremony, and this is the cloth that you are meant to actually wear. Is a cloth that collaboratively has been picked for that event, and then you have told the fashion designer, look, on Saturday next week, I will have an event, and this clothes is meant for that event. Please, when will you deliver this clothes for me? So the fashion designer promised you to deliver it on Friday. And getting there on Friday, the clothes has not even been cut. The person promises that, oh, come very early on Saturday morning, I will deliver it. And then you go again on Saturday, you start trying his number, he's not picking his line. So just imagine how you will feel. And the day of that event is already that Saturday. So you couldn't wear the clothes. So how will you feel? Even if on Monday, after the event has gone, the fashion designer is now calling you, bringing the clothes, even though he has designed the clothes the design looks so beautiful. He's not begging you, giving you all sorts of excuses. a clothes that you are meant to actually what, you might have dreamed on how good you will look that day, how best you want to actually look among your colleagues that will attend the event, and then here comes the Saturday, you couldn't even get your own clothes. And some people, because they couldn't get that clothes, they will even choose to be absent from that kind of event. So no matter how well the person has actually designed the clothes, will you be happy if by Monday is bringing that clothes? That is how you should think as a project manager. No matter how beautiful the project that you want to deliver is, you must know that what you must also beat the time frame. You must deliver it within the time frame. Imagine the training that we have tonight. We have promised that the training will start by 7, and then you log in by 7, nobody. You log in by 7:30, nobody. You log in by 8, nobody. I am sure some people will give up. They wouldn't even try to bother themselves again, because everybody has something beautifully designed for their own time. So that's how you should see a project. So a project must be such that it fulfills the scope, it fulfills the time frame, it fulfills the budget that you have actually made for it, and these are what we refer to as project baseline. So project management institutes, okay, now look at projects generally. If we look at projects, there are some processes that what projects will actually follow. Take for instance, there is always a process in everything that you want to do. Even if you must get to work on a daily basis, you have a process. The process is that you have to get up your bed, you have to brush your mouth, you have to take your bath. If you must take your breakfast, you take your breakfast. Then you get dressed. Then you hit the road. You board a bus or several to your place of work, and then you get to your place of work. That is the process. Now, if you have to list the process of you getting to your place of work every day for somebody, you can start listing by saying, wake up, brush teeth, take bath, eat breakfast, get dressed, hit the road, get transport, and then arrive at the office. So you see the way I've listed the processes. That is exactly how project management institutes have looked at it. So let's look at project in a generic form. Okay, what are the processes that, no matter maybe the project that you want to do, what are the possible processes that these things can actually go through? A process is what the set of procedures that you follow in getting something done. So we have about 49 of these processes that the Project Management Institute kind of stated out. Now, looking at these processes also, in their unique form, there is a way we can group them. Instead of us to just have 49 processes, let us group these processes, let us set them in different groups. There are some of these processes that when we are just starting the project, we need to carry out. There are some of these processes that when we are making plans for our project, we need to carry out. There are some of these processes that when we are executing the plan for this project, we need to carry out. There are some of these processes that when we are reviewing what we have executed, when we are reviewing it, just so that we can check if we have done it properly, there are some of those processes you will carry out. And there are some of these processes you will carry out when you are handling it. Which is the closure. And these are the things that form 5 process groups in project management. So we call it 5 process groups. In these 5 process groups, it means that what? The 49 processes that we have, we now group them into 5. So we have what we call initiating process group. Those are the processes that you go through when you are just initiating a project, when you are just starting a project. We have planning process group. These are the processes that you carry out when you are making plans for the project. We have executing process groups. These are the processes that you go through when you are executing the project. We have monitoring and controlling process group. These are the processes that you carry out when you are reviewing what you have executed in the course of your project. And we have what we call closing process group. These are the processes that you go through when you are rounding off the project. When you are handing over the project to the customer, that's the owner of the project. When you are handing this project over to the stakeholders, those are those that have stake in the project. So I'm sure this actually what goes down with us. And then that led us to now talking about knowledge areas in project management. What are the knowledge areas? What are the areas of knowledge, the knowledge-based area when it comes to project management? And then we discussed that we have about 10 of them. We have project integration management, which was the last training that we did. We talk about integration and we use the grammar to break it down. When you are integrating something, it means that what that thing must have been in pieces. For example, if you have actually mounted your antenna before, or if you have bought a GoTV dish, or you have bought a DSTV dish before, you will understand what I mean. All these things will come in pieces, and then there will be a diagram being put in that paper. You will now be joining the pieces together so that it will look like that antenna that is drawn on the paper, and then you can hang it. So what are you doing? You are integrating your antenna. You are integrating your GoTV dish. You are integrating your DSTV dish. You are coupling them together. If you have actually bought all these mobile cupboards also before, they will come in different metals, in different pieces, and then you will integrate them. So to integrate something means that you are bringing all the pieces together so that it can look like a whole picture. So when it comes to project management and you want to carry out a project, there are so many areas that are in pieces. What will be going through your mind is that, how large is my project? That's the project scope. What will be running through your mind is, how long will my project take? That's the project time management. What will be in your mind is, how much will it cost me to carry out this project? These are one of the pieces, piece of information in your mind. What will also be in your mind is that what kind of quality do I want my project to be? If I'm producing shoes, when you go to market, you will see shoes of 5,000 naira, you will see shoes of 15, you will see shoes of 50,000 naira, you have shoes of 100,000 naira, and even in millions. You cannot compare the quality of all these shoes. So every product have their level of quality. So as a project manager, you're already thinking in your mind, what will be the quality of this project that I'm carrying out? What are the resources that I need for this project? When I'm talking about resources, I'm talking about the human resource. What kind of people do I need? Do I need highly skillful people, or do I need non-skillful people? Is it a gender-sensitive project that only men should be recruited to carry it out, or only women should be recruited to carry it out? Do I need financial analyst, finance analyst? Do I need a lawyer? Do I need this? Do I need that? Do I need security on this project? So you'll be thinking about your human resource management, and then you think about, how do I communicate during the course of this project? Who are those people, my staff, the project team? How do we communicate? How do we get information? Are we going to need a land phone? Are we going to need a walkie-talkie? Are we going to need a mobile phone? Are we going to be in need of special SIM card so that every members of the team can communicate freely? Do we need a website? Do we have an app? Do we need an app for us to actually be doing our report? Do we need to have special emails if we are going to be sending emails to one another? Then you begin to think about all these things. You think about the risk management. This project I want to carry out, what are the risks in there? What are the things that can go wrong? What are the things that can mar this project? What are the things that can kill this project? What are the things that can make us to lose money, that can make us to lose funds and lose time? So you think about the risk. Is there anything like a threat to the health of the project team that will be carrying out this project? Should we get a first aid box? Should we get medical personnel that will be on ground so that if anybody have injury, they can attend to them? You begin to think about the risk. You begin to think also about the procurement management. All those materials that you will need, that you will have to buy, will they be supplied in Nigeria? Will they be supplied outside Nigeria? Are they available in Nigeria? Must it be outside the country? If I should order for them, will it take 3 months before they arrive? What will be the problem with the custom? How will they get it delivered? Will it be fast? Will it be slow? Will it delay us? You'll be thinking about all these things. You will think about the safety of those materials, that when you get them on ground, how will they be safeguarded? Do we have a warehouse? Do we have where to keep them? And we get security to be watching over them? All these things will be the trouble going on in your mind as a project manager. And then, lastly but not the least, you begin to care for your stakeholders. The stakeholders are those people that have stake on the projects. Those people that have their own personal requirements for the project. So you begin to think about your stakeholders. Who are those people that are stakeholders for this project? Are they all available physically? Can I meet them all together? Is there any one of them that is not available in the country? How do I communicate with them? Do I be having a virtual meeting with them? Do I situate a physical meeting? Will they be there? Which among them can give me issues? What do they want? How do I approach them? How do I satisfy them? How do I get their full support? All these things will be going in your mind. And this is what project integration will do for you. So project integration now helps you to look at an overview of how you are going to interconnect all these other 9 knowledge areas. And then when you have thought about, oh, this is how I'm going to go about it, then you now come properly to what is my project scope. And here we have come to what we are starting with now, project scope management. And you can see even on the list that after project scope management, then we talk about project time management. And we have actually defined that what during these 4 days, we are going to look at project scope management, and then we look at it as project time management. So we promise to actually cover these 2 all together in the course of these 4 days. Thank you so much, guys. If you have been with me up till now, I want you to say hi to me in the comment section.
Hi.
Just type, just type so that we will not just say hi. Just say hi. Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you so much. A lot of people are with me. I'm so excited. I'm so happy that you guys are with me. You are doing fine. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Somebody said lovely introduction. So we have to, yes. We have to lay the foundation. We have to water the ground. So we have watered the ground. And even if you have not gone through the previous training, I know that completely you are not a novice to what we are about to start discussing right now. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Project Scope Management, one of the very important project baseline. In the previous training, I explained to us what we mean by project baseline. I described project baseline as something that you should see like a shape of a triangle. So let us see that. Something you should see like a shape of a triangle. Okay. You see? So this is how project baseline looks like. So we are talking about the scope of the project. We are talking about the time frame, and we are talking about the cost. And then when you successfully, deal with these 3, it will centrally give you the quality of the project. So these 3 project baselines can greatly either positively or negatively affect the quality of your project. The scope of a project gives us the view of the work that are needed to be done in order to deliver your project. the enormosity, the limitation, the length and breadth, and the boundaries of the work you need to put into the project before you can have the project results. So in other words, for the sake of project management examination and your assessment, you need to know that there is a difference between product scope and project scope. Product scope and project scope. Product scopes will tell you about the feature of your product, of your product. The product is the end result of the project. It can be, don't forget we say you can carry out a project in order to produce a particular thing, either a product, either a service, or a unique result. So imagine that your project is being carried out to give you a product. So you need to know the scope of the product. If it is a website that you are designing, you need to know, is that website meant to allow customer to make an online payment? Is that product, the website that you are designing, is it in such a way that what it must be such that people should be able to place their order online? Or are we just building this website so that we can display our product and services alone to the people? So you should know what your product promises to actually do as a function. If I'm erecting a building, am I erecting the building in such a way that what it can be controlled electronically? Should it be an automatic light switching? Will there be a lift inside it? So what are the things I want to put in this building? Will all the rooms be en suites? Will it be in flat? Will it just be face me and face you kind of building? Is it a 3-bedroom flat? Is it a 4-bedroom flat? This is what the product scope talks about. But the project scope will tell us, now that we have known the kind of products, what kind of work, what kind of activities do we need to engage in order to get this thing done? That is what project scope is actually what addressing. And you see, project scope is a lot of problems to many project managers. In fact, project scope can give you a lot of headache and make you to become a failure as a project manager. Let me give you some instances. There are a lot of clients that will tell you that this is what I want. It is based on what the client wants that you, as a project manager, you will tell him that this is how long the project will take. For example, if you tell me that you need, if I'm a contractor, a building contractor, and you say, I want you to erect a 3-bedroom flat for me. So by experience, I know how long it can take me. Maybe after I've done all my research and everything, I've looked at, okay, what's the proximity of this location to the material delivery and everything. So after everything, I told you that what, okay, it will take us maybe 5 months for us to build a 3-bedroom flat. Along the line, we started building. But the customer now comes and say, oh, this 3-bedroom flat, I was thinking it's going to be a bungalow before. Now I want it to be a 2-story building. And that is when we have done everything. We are almost reaching the lintel of the building, and it's now saying that what we want it as a story building. What problem do you think that will cost? The problem will not be just for us to say it will cost you more. The problem is that all the materials that we have used earlier have become a waste, because there is a difference between the way we are going to do the foundation of a bungalow and a foundation that must support a 2-story building. So we need to go back to the foundation. You will see some people, they will now be talking about reinforcing the building. They will be talking about what? Building pillar, and that's what leads to a lot of building collapse. The foundation was not originally planned to actually support a two-story building, but now they want to convert it by fire by force, and they don't want to demolish it because they don't want to waste material. Then they will be looking for one pillar, 3 pillars that they will use to support the building, and thinking that that will support. And that can manage for a few years, and after a few years, the pillar will get tired because the foundation is not resting on the foundation of two-story building, and then you hear that the building collapse. So when you don't incorporate what will be the scope of the project from beginning, when you don't get it right, it can give you a problem as a project manager. Later on, they will not say what the client was the one that is at fault. What people will ask is that who actually erected that building. So the man, the builder, will actually receive the blame before they could even think about what extend the questions to what's the fault of the building owner. So project scope management, let me clear this so that you can be seeing my screen very well. Project scope management refers to the set of processes that ensure that a project scope is accurately defined and mapped. That we will be able to actually discuss from beginning that, okay, what are the things that we need to do in this project? How do we actually deliver this project? This person says that he wants a blouse. Do we need to buy some additional materials? The material that she has given to us, will they be enough? This person says that he wants us to plan its retirement party. So we begin to think, what kind of event is he looking at? How many people will be attending this event? What kind of hall? Which location does he want? This is actually talking about the scope. This will give us an overview of the kind of work that we will need to put in place so that we can get the project delivered. So a project scope, okay, let me underline for you so that you can see what I'm addressing. A project scope refers to the detailed set of deliverables or features of a project. And we are saying that these deliverables are derived from the project requirement. So there are so many things in the project scope. For example, if it's a building, and we are using, don't forget that in the last training, I talked about, agile methodology of project management, or we call it the adaptive methodology, or we call it iterative methodology. And this, we say it is different from the waterfall kind of method. So if you still remember, I explained waterfall methodology because when you look at the processes, the 5 process group, we say we have initiation, we have planning, we have execution, we have monitoring and controlling, and then we have closure. Now, the methodology by which we want to carry out the project or the nature of the project will let us know what kind of methodology, what is the life cycle that we're actually choosing for that project. How does the waterfall actually work? In waterfall, we have to do all the things that we need to do in the initiation until we finish everything that we need to do in the initiation of the project before we can move to the planning. In the planning also, we complete all the plan before we move to the execution. And until we execute everything, like if it's a building that you are erecting, let me give you an example. Before the customer can be called to come and inspect what we have done, we have to finish building erecting the building. It is after you have erected the building, then you now say the person should come and look at it. And then if the person now makes some corrections, before you now say, how do we correct this? How do we correct that? And then you hand over. Now, what's the problem with this kind of project? If a project is an high-risk project, you dare not use waterfall. If a project has a scope that is not really that clear, there are some projects that it is as you do them, there are some things, some features, or some things you need to put in place will be coming up. Such a project, you dare not use for waterfall because you will have problem with the customer. The customer will not be satisfied. And the kind of corrections you will be pointing at, those are the things that will waste materials. That is, it will raise the project budget. And it will delay you the more. That is, it will elongate the project. There will be scope creeps on that particular project. So you dare not use waterfall for a project that is of high risk or that does not have what 100% clarity from beginning. But when you're using adaptive or iterative, what is iterative? Iterative is what I can give you as a terminology of what? Small, little by little. You are carrying out the project little by little. And that's when you will be talking about deliverables. In the past training, I did explain to you that when we are talking about deliverables or you are talking about project milestones, we are talking about what? The tangible, things that if you achieve it in the course of your project, they are tangible enough for you to go and flaunt it or for you to present it to the project customer. For example, if what I need to do for the customer is to erect a building, after we have done the design of the building, that's the design of how the building will look like. Is the design of the building tangible enough for us to present to the customer so that he can check if he's okay with the design? Yes. It's an absolute yes. The design of the building is a tangible achievement in the course of erecting a building. So this design, we can call it a deliverable in project management. Deliverable means that what? Something worthy of being delivered. It is also, otherwise, you can call it what? A milestone. Is a milestone of achievement. It's an achievement. It's a tangible achievement for us to say that the design of your building is ready. Please look at it. This is where the sitting room will be. This is how large it will be. This is the first room. When you enter here, this is where you will enter. This one will have its own toilet. This one will have its own bathroom. Oh, the kitchen is this big. Okay, you will have some lighting points here and all that. And then we get the customer to say, I am okay with this. And then he sign it. But in order for you to actually carry out the design, you must have gone through all the 5 process groups. During the design, there will be some things you will do to initiate the design. There will be planning for the design, either for you to hire the person that will do the design, for you to give the person a sketch, or what the requirement will be. What is he designing? Is he designing a 3-bedroom flat? For you to look at the topography of the land and all that, if there's any survey or anything like that. And then you will execute the design. This is when the person carry out the design proper. And then you take the design to the customer so that what you can carry out the monitoring and controlling. If the customer is not saying, oh, look at the design, I want you to effect this kind of changes. What do? We call that what? Change request in project management. So the person is now requesting that, oh, instead of this room being in this place, I want the first place I will enter to be a room rather than entering the sitting room first. When you look at some building, you first enter the sitting room before you started entering the bedrooms. But the person can say, oh, let it be, I will first enter what? The room before I can. So anyhow he likes it. So it's not telling you that what? These are the changes I want. So you take that one back to the man in charge of the design. He will redesign it and make the corrections. You bring it back. This is what you do during the monitoring and controlling. We call it review process. You are reviewing what you have done. If it's satisfactory for the client. And when the client eventually now say it is okay, then you already close that chapter. That is the closure. You close it. That phase is already closed. You have delivered that milestone. the person cannot give you a legal problem again to say, oh, I don't want this again. You have shown him, he has approved it. And that is an iterative. Now we have already achieved, delivering the design. Can we now go to the foundation? Then we do the foundation again. We invite the customer. We say, come and look at the foundation. Do you like it? Is it strong enough? Oh, you say, oh, yes, the foundation is strong enough. We deliver that one also before we start mounting the blocks on it. So you see the iterative. You see how it works. So your project scope will allow you to know which kind of methodology, if you properly do your project scope, it will allow you to know which kind of methodology is suitable for this project. Do we do waterfall? Do we do the adaptive method? So project scope is very important because in it, you are going to state all your deliverables. In the project scope statement, we are going to state it that, the deliverable is that the customer must know that when the design is over, we are going to invite him. When the foundation is over, we are going to invite him. When we build to lintel, we are going to invite him. When we are doing the roofing, we are going to invite him so that he can inspect and say, I'm satisfied. When we are bringing in the furniture, we are going to invite him. When we are doing the painting, we are going to invite him. When we finish the installation of electrical work, we are going to invite him. When we finish the plumbing work, the water flow system in the house, we are going to invite him. When we do the borehole, we are going to invite him. When we finally put the fence around and put the gate, we are going to invite him. When we put the ties, we are going to invite him. So that all these processes, they will become deliverables and clearly stated in the project scope. So you see how important your project scope is. It makes the customers to know what are the things that you will call me for. If it's also a website you are building, when we finish laying down how the website will look like, the design of your project, of your website, we will invite you to check. When we finally build the registration link, if it's going to contain a registration link, we will invite him. We have him to test it. He will try to register also and see if it's a successful one. Oh, the registration link is working now. Thank you. Go ahead. Then we go to the gallery. We design the gallery. We call him again. We say the gallery, we have designed the gallery. This is how the gallery will be displaying. Do you like the way it's displaying? This is how you can scroll the pictures on your website. He says, I like that. Oh, what methodology of payment do you want? Do you want to actually for us to put a PayPal, or is it the pay stack that we should put on your website? Okay, we put it. After we must have embedded that payment method. We invite him also. We test run. We make it like somebody wants to pay. This is how you get your payment. It will show delivered. It will send you a back end message. It will send an automatic message to your email. This is how it's going to be. The person say, okay, I'm okay with it, or correct this. That is the deliverable. Oh, people will be subscribing to their email to your newspaper. Okay, we designed that one also. We test run it. You will see how the newspaper will be displaying. You will see how people will be subscribing to the newsletter on the website. He says, I'm okay again. These are deliverables. And all these deliverables are not going to be possible except that what we state it in our project scope. So it is very, very important that we do this. So in project management, let's now look at it. What are the processes involved in getting the project scope being properly managed? What are the processes that will help us? Don't forget, I mentioned 49 processes in project management, and then we talk about the 5 process groups. So in these 49 processes, which of these processes actually affect, or which of them is dealing with project scope management? We have about 6 processes that will actually guide us on our project scope management. And these 6 processes, we can see them only under 2 process groups. They fall under the planning and the monitoring and controlling process groups. Let me have my screen wiped so that you can see what I'm displaying right now. Is there anybody alive with me on this training? Please let me have your eye in the comment section. In the comment section. Are we together? All right, thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, yes. Send me the rings of I. Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. So, what we are discussing now is what I've mentioned, that we have 6 processes in project scope management. And these 6 processes, they fall under only 2 process groups. They fall under 2 process groups. And these 2 process groups, they are the planning. Everything you will do under project scope management, they only fall under planning, monitoring, and controlling. You are not executing anything. You are only drawing the scope of your project. You are only managing the scope of your project. And why is it necessary for us to manage the scope of the project? Do not forget that you have stakeholders. The project scope management allows you to know the limits of what you are doing. You must know your limit as a project manager. If not, there are some exercises or activities that are not needed for the success of the project you may be wasting your time on. If you do not know the limitation of your project, there may be some activities you can be wasting the resources of the project on. Your budget may skyrocket, it may go up just because you are not managing them based on the scope of the project. So it is very important for us to know the boundaries of the scope of the project, and that is what project scope management actually helps us to achieve. So let us look at the processes. The first process of project scope management is for us to define the project needs. You need to define your project needs. You need to know what are the things that you need for this project. What do you need for the project? What are the needs of your project? It is very important for you to know that, okay, fine, the resources I need for this project, what are the resources? Do I need highly skillful people? Will 20-man team be enough to execute this project? Will I need a 30-man team for me to actually execute this project? How much, when it comes to budget, do I actually need for this particular project? How long will it take me to carry out this project? So you have to define your project needs, the needs of the project. This will actually help you to actually know how enormous the project or how big the project that you're actually handling. If you are talking about somebody is expecting 500 people in his event, and you went ahead to go and get a hall of 200 capacity hall, you have failed on that project. If the event will be a 5-day event, and the hall that you book, you have only booked 3 days, you have already failed on that project. So in defining the project will allow us to know how long, defining the needs of the project will allow us to know how long it will take for us to actually carry out the project. How many, what was the capacity of the human resources do we need to execute this project? How much, when it comes to budget, do we need to actually execute this project? All these will help us to know how big the project that we are handling is. So we say that once this is done, then the team members can be allocated tasks and provided direction to deliver a project in the given time and budget. So you see, so when you know the budget of the project, when you know the time frame, it will allow you to know how to manage your team properly. It will allow you to know how much time do any of the members of the team that you have assigned a particular task to, how much time do they have to deliver? And how much of resources in terms of money this time around can you allocate to them to get it done? So you must actually define the needs of your project. It is very, very important. Then we move to understanding the project objectives. You need to understand your project objectives. You need to know what your project promises to achieve. What is the goal of this project? Why are we carrying out this project? What are the problems we want to solve with this project? Are we building a website that will be an international website? Are we erecting a building? How much of a story building will it be? How many rooms will be there? Are we recruiting staff? Then if we are recruiting staff, what kind of skillful people are we looking at? How many years of experience must they have? How many male, how many female do we want to recruit? How many of them must apply? How many of them are we going to invite for interview? And how many of them will we eventually employ afterwards the interview? So these actually give you the objectives. You need to understand what is the goal of the project. What does it promise to deliver? Are you building a new product? What is that product meant for? Is it a drink? Is it a detergent that you are trying to actually create? Are you trying to actually make available bags for students? Is that what your project is all about? Do you want to organize a training? Who are those set of people do you expect in your training and all that? So what does your training promises to actually deliver? So you must understand the objectives of your project. You must understand the features of your project. You must understand the functionality of your project. This will actually help you to know or manage properly the scope of your project. So it is very important that you understand the project objectives. So you can imagine you jumping on the project that you don't know what the project is all about. You can't even explain what the project promises to deliver. So that would be a whole lot of problem. Now let me mention this, that it is important that you take note of the differences in the way I'm explaining the processes. When I was talking about the project needs, I explained that you are thinking about the needs of your project in terms of the time frame, in terms of the resources, in terms of the budget, that's the cost. So that's the needs of the project. But this one I'm explaining is talking about the objectives of the project. What will your project do? The end result of your project, what is it? What do you intend to achieve by carrying out this project? That is what the second process is addressing. Now, the third one is that now you need to define the scope of your project. It is very important. This is where you have the scope of your project. That's the statement, the statement of your project. So you need to actually define the project. So define the project scope. What is your scope all about? Your scope statement. What is it? What are the milestone in the project? What are the deliverables in your project? What are the risks involved in your project? What are the assumptions that you are maintaining in the project? All these things will guide you. So let's put them together. Let's look at the overview. Now that I've watered the ground for the processes, so you look at it that you need to plan the scope, you need to collect the requirements, you need to define the scope, you need to create your WBS that we call work breakdown structure, you need to validate the scope, and you need to control the scope. So we have watered the ground. Now let's look at them in the awesome view, step by step. In planning your scope, what do you need to do in planning your scope? In planning your scope, you need to know that there are some activities that involve
initiation, that's when you are just initiating the scope of your project. So these are the activities that you actually carry out in order for you to actually look at how you will achieve the rest of the 5 processes in your scope management. Planning will let you know that how will you collect all the requirements. These are the things that you do when you are making the plan for your scope management. How do I want to collect the requirements? What do we call requirements in project? The requirements are the expectations of the stakeholders. Imagine that you have 5 stakeholders on the project. Every one of them, you really want to know what are their expectations. When I wanted to start this training tonight, I said that you should go to the comment section and for you to list out what are your expectations from this training. The expectations of everybody attending this training might be different. Some people are here for knowledge. They just want to add more knowledge to their project management skills. That may be your own expectation. Another person's expectation might be that he's just here for certification. He really wants to attend this training so that he'll be able to obtain certificate for it. Some people just want to attend the training. They don't intend to get certificate for it. Some people want to attend to gain the knowledge and to also obtain certification for it. Some people are here just to while away their time. Some people are here just to network, to see whether there will be people that they can network with. People have different expectations whenever they are involved in a project. So in the plan scope management, you are going to have plans on how you are going to achieve the rest of these 5 processes. How do you collect all your requirements? How do you gather them? How will I define the scope of my projects? How will I create the work breakdown structure for this project? How will I validate I'm going to explain all that. How do you validate your scope? And how do I control my scope? So it is under this process that you make that plan. So let me give you an illustration of how plan scope management works. Plan scope management is just like what I explained under the project integration management. I explained to you that project integration management is the first knowledge area in project management, and it is the one that helps you to unite the rest of the 9 knowledge areas that you have. So plan scope management helps you to unite. It helps you to have a robust plan on how to achieve these other 5 processes that you have in your project scope management. So that's how briefly we can actually put that. And then we move to collect requirements. Collecting your requirements is actually, the process by which you begin to gather requirements from your stakeholders. Like I've explained, stakeholders are those people that have stake on your project. It might be people, part of the people that are financing the project, or it might be people that, the project will also affect in one way or the other. So let's say that it is an organization and you want to carry out a project in that organization. In every manufacturing industry, there are always different departments. You have electrical department, you have mechanical department, you have process department, you have quality control department, you have automation department, you have instrumentation department. So when you want to carry out a project, and this project is going to be carried out in a particular unit of the company, and it's going to affect all these departments, definitely every department that will be affected becomes stakeholders. And then electrical department will be after how the project will benefit them according to their own work as electrical work that they do or they offer in the company. So when you want to start that project, you really want to go by saying, what are your requirements? Requirements means that what are your expectations? So electrical might say, oh, please, when you are building these things, we will like the kind of electric motor you will install to be 50 kilowatts. When mechanical will talk about their own, they may say, oh, this. We want some equipment that will be this, that will be that. Ready for us to maintain. The process department will be after, oh, how will this machine work? We don't want problem for our operators. How will they be able to have good understanding of what operating this or particular machine? Will you train them on the job? Will they have the proper knowledge? Won't it affect their health? Will it be easier for them to control? That will be their own requirement. The automation department will say, what kind of sensors are we going to install? Are you sure those sensors will be available in the country? Can we order for them? What do you want those sensors to do on this machine? That may be their requirement. So this is the situation, the process, whereby you gather all the expectations that all the stakeholders may have on the project. Why is it necessary for you to properly carry out this process? Because you wouldn't want an headache that after you have gathered all the requirements, someone somewhere among the stakeholders is now coming through the back door to tell you that, can you please implement this? That, as a project manager, is going to affect you. Although there are some projects, like I explained to you, that, you know, they accommodate changes along the line. But there is a process for it. That even as a project manager, even if the scope of the project will have some additional information, it shouldn't be such that we actually digress totally from what the project is all about. Let me give you an instance. If the project is about erecting a building, the scope should not be diverted to buying a car. So even if there will be some adjustment to the scope, it will be that, oh, can we manage to actually build a particular store for a security? So that may be something that what the owner of the project is adding to the scope right now. You know, that is still making sense. So you will just tell him that he should make a change request, that he wants to actually implement some change, and then you go back to the drawing board to see what it will cost you additionally in terms of time frame, what it will cost you in terms of resources, so that you request for it. That is still within what the kind of project you are carrying out. But for somebody bringing a requirement among the stakeholders that, can you actually buy all 3 cars, and the project you are handling is for you to actually erect a building, so that will be a total diversion from the scope of the project. So this process actually helps you to collect the requirements. Then you move to defining the scope. It is very, very important in this case for you to note that defining your scope means that you should define the scope statement. And this is where you get the necessary documentation. This is where you do the necessary documentation that will guide the execution of your project. Defining your scope is where you will get to state all the milestones, all the deliverables in the course of your project. In defining your scope statement, you have opportunity of stating your limitations. What are the limitations? What are the possible risks in the course of this project? So, defining scope is a documentation that involves information about the scope of the project. It is the document that you work with. Now, let me show you an example of this. Let me display for you an example of how the scope statement looks like. So I have a couple of samples here. I think we can use this. If you can see my screen, please, let's go. Unmute your mic and say, I can see. Unmute your mic and say, I can see, just within 1 minute.
I can see. I can see. You can see. I can see.
All right, thank you so much. So this is how your project scope, thank you so much. This is how your project scope looks like. That's the scope statement. This is how it looks like. This one is actually tagged product scope. You can see different descriptions when you see different templates for this. So look at this this one now, there will be a little brief statement that will talk about the project you are doing. This one says, Model T is a low-cost electric vehicle with 4 doors, relatively high mileage, great durability, and a low. So it's telling us briefly what the project is all about. So in your scope statement, there will be a brief statement about your what, about your scope, about your project. So there will be a brief statement that is talking about your project. If your own is website, you can say, Do Me Do You website is a website that helps you to personalize your daily activities. It is where you can create your day-to-day activities, the list of your day-to-day activities, monitor your activities, mark your calendar, book appointments. So you state briefly what the project is all about. And then in the scope statement, there is what we call acceptance criteria. What are the criteria that will make this customer or this project owner to accept the project? Look at number 1. The car should run to 300 kilometers on a full charge battery. So you can see, these are the things that these products you want to build must do. It must have what? A low service cost. That is, it must not cost too much for you to actually work service. Low financing options from all major institutions. Upgrade options, if you want to upgrade it. High durability, 2-year warranty for external and internal parts. The car should achieve 110 kilometers per hour within 10 seconds. So this is what you are stating. So if these things are not achieved, if you are not able to build something like this, the customer will not accept it. Now, what are the deliverables? That is, what are the milestones? What are the phase of this project? One electric vehicle, once you finish one, you should deliver it. Let them inspect it. One full car battery warranty, one spare wheel, one front airbag, back and front. So this is the sample. So you can see project exclusions, free spare battery, free charging cables, extra coolant, So this is the kind of project, and this is what we call scope statement. There's another one. Let's look at another one. This is another scope statement. So you can see this template is different from the one I just showed you. So in this one that you are looking at, you can see that what there is a title. Who is the project manager? You let us know. Who is the project sponsor? This is the person that is bringing the project. What is the objective of the project? You will state it. What do you intend to achieve in this project? Like this one, develop a web-based learning management system for Springville, provide a user-friendly interface for students and faculty members. So these are the things that are the objectives of this project. What are the deliverables of this project? Springville learning management system. Once you do this, you deliver it. Once you finish the user manuals and training materials, once you finish building this one, you also deliver it for the customer to approve. Once you are ready with the system documentation, you deliver it. So these are deliverables. These are deliverables of what you must hand over to the owner. Now look at the milestones. System design and development completed by end of Q2. So once you have done this, you have reached a particular milestone. Okay? The deliverables is telling you everything that must be delivered. And the milestone is telling you when you will say you have reached a tangible achievement stage in the course of the project. Project constraints. What are the things that can be of challenges to this particular project? That's what the budget. Look at the budget, $500,000. So the budget is large, and you are seeing that raising the money for this is very challenging. So that is why it's coming under the constraint. Completion date of December 31st. Maybe the time frame will not be enough. So you are seeing that, and this project, if you really don't want to fail on it, it must actually be ready before this particular time. So the time frame being given becomes a challenge and it is a constraint. Integration with existing Spring Zero database. So after you are done with this, you must incorporate it with the already existing database. So you are stating this that there will be the constraints for you, and what are the assumptions you are working with, availability of qualified development and testing resources. So the assumption you are working with are things that you assume will be in place. You are not really sure, but you already assume that these things are available. So provided that these things are available, that is when you'll be able to run this project smoothly. There's another one that I have as an example here. Look at another scope management. So I'm just trying to show you that there may be different templates. This one is talking about the overview. Overview might actually be the objectives of what the project is all about. The governance of the project is also telling you about branding and design decisions will be the responsibility of the creative director. So you are talking about who will be in charge of what and what in the course of this project. What are the approach that you are giving this project? Approach can also make you to look at the methodology that the project will actually follow. The assumption in the project and also the deliverables. So you can see it differently. You can see that in this one, the deliverables are just stated. The milestones are not separated from it. There's the way you can inclusively put your milestones even among your deliverables, and you can actually separate them if you want it to be and also look from one another. So that's an example of how your scope management or your scope statement actually looks like. So let's go back to our steps. We say you define the scope. So you can see in defining your scope, you have to make mention of your work. You have to design the document, the documentation of your scope. That is the scope statement. So that is what you get ready. And you have seen the component of the scope statement. If I ask us in our assessment that you should actually design a scope statement, so you already see a template. If you also go online, you will see different templates. So just pick a project and then you try to develop the statement for the scope. Now we move to the fourth process in the project scope management, and that is to create a work breakdown structure. This is very important. In fact, this is the backbone of managing our project scope. What is work breakdown structure? Work breakdown structure is a situation where you get to break down your projects to the smallest unit of task that you will carry out. In other words, every project is assumed to be ambiguous in its own. For example, as simple as it is, going to work, getting to work every day. Let me use this example. Let's say this is the project. Arriving my place of work. Or let me use a white space so that we can do not interfere. Arriving my place of work daily. So let's say this is a project. Don't forget the process we are on now is WBS. That's work breakdown structure. Just as it sounds, work breakdown structure gives you a diagrammatic view of every task that is involved in your project. Without your work breakdown structure, you won't be able to get your budget correctly. You will see that. Without your work breakdown structure, you can never have an accuracy on the time frame that your project will take. So what work breakdown structure teaches is that Everything that you will do in your project must be broken down to the least of it that you cannot further break it down again. It is only when you are able to do this, you will see the smallest task to be carried out in the course of the project. And then you begin to attach the time frame to them one by one. And then attaching the time frame to them, you begin to attach resources that they will take to them. Let's make it practical. Let's just look at a very funny one. The one I have on the board right now. I'm going to show you some professional one, and then you will also practice with some professional one. And then we are going to cross-examine ourselves tonight to see a very good understanding that we may have in this. So, arriving my place of work daily. This is what we want to do. And then I'm going to have a partner, okay, in the course of doing this. So who want to be my partner? Who want to be my partner in this? Can you signify, please, you want to work with me? Don't worry, we are going to work together. Is there anybody that wants to work with me? Mr. Moderator, please. Somebody is raising his or her hand. Moderator, are you there?
Yes, I am. Yes, I am.
Please, let somebody from me.
Joseph. Can you hear me? Model Joseph, are you there?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, so you can be the
All right, sir.
Mr. Joseph, are you with me?
I'm with you, sir.
Thank you so much. Sorry to bother you with this. Do you reside in Lagos?
No, I reside in Kaduna.
You reside in Kaduna. Thank you so much. And you make trip to your place of work every day, right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good. Now, what are the things you need to put in place to arrive your place of work every day, right from your bed?
Well, right from my bed, I need to ensure that I wake up right on time.
Okay, let me say that. So we are looking at the flow.
Yes, I wake up like around 6. Yeah, waking up around 6.
Waking up. Look at it. Waking up, right?
Yes, waking
Let
up.
us put the time frame to it. Yes.
Okay.
Waking up. Okay.
Waking up. Yes, then I do my prayers and boil my water for bathing.
Prayers.
Yes.
Prepare water.
Then take my bath.
Take a bath.
Yes, then take breakfast.
Bath.
Yes.
Breakfast.
And then I warm my car.
Okay, you have to warm your car. Let me extend it.
Yeah.
Hold on. Let me extend it. Get car ready.
Yes, get the car ready.
Okay.
And then drop my wife at the shop before proceeding to my own place of work.
Okay. That's drop wife. That's all right?
Yes.
Okay.
That's good. Yes.
Okay, so let's work with this. Now you have stated the task that you see as an overview for you to arrive your place of work. Now, in order to do this, we will now begin to look at one by one and see if there is any of these that we need to further break down.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me? So, in order for you to wake up, what time must you wake up? That's by 6, right?
Yes, I must wake up by 6.
By 6. Now, let's look at it. For you to wake up by 6, what are the things you need to do?
First of all, I make sure I sleep.
Is there a particular time that you must sleep for you to wake up by 6?
Yes. I mean, I must have a minimum of 7 hours sleep.
So you see, 7 hours.
So I have to sleep, say, around 10, 11.
Okay, 7 hours. So you are saying now that in order for you to achieve waking up by 6 a.m., there are some other tasks that are attached to that. It is a function of how early you go to bed.
Yes.
The day you go to bed by 1 a.m., you will not meet up with what? Your 6 hours time.
Yes.
Must you set alarm? Do you do that?
Not necessarily. Not
necessarily. Okay.
Yes.
Some people actually work set alarm, right?
Yes.
For their wake up time.
Yes.
That's a task that can affect they waking up at their own predetermined what time. Okay. Good. For the prayers, what are the things you must get ready for the prayers?
So my Bible, I think that's just it. My Bible and the devotional.
Okay, so that means that what time must your prayer be?
Immediately I wake up, before I set out to do anything. By that 6, when I wake up, that's the first thing I do.
Okay, so prayer takes place also 6 a.m.
Yes.
Okay, you don't really need much. Okay, so we can break down the prayer. Prepare water. Yes. What are the tasks attached to you getting the water prepared?
Getting the water prepared, because of the nature of scarcity of water, I have to like fetch the water down in the night.
Okay, so fetch water.
Fetch water in the night, and then once I finish the prayer, and then I pour it in the pot and then heat.
Okay, you need to heat it. That means that maybe your gas or anything whatsoever.
Using gas, yes.
So power, there must be power, right? Power supply. Yeah. There must be power supply for you to do this.
You need to heat the water.
So you see, I hope everybody is following. So you are seeing task attached to task. So when you don't do all this, if it looks so simple, look at it. How complex can it be? Just for you to say, to get to work every day. To a layman, it's a very simple thing. You just look at for you to arrive work. But to arrive work at the time that you must arrive, there are tasks that are involved. And that's how it is in your project. Until you are able to break them down into the smallest units, then you'll be able to see clearly, easily attach the time frame to them, easily attach the resources to them, so that your project will not fail.
Yes.
Taking your bath, yes. Luckily, maybe you have your own private bathroom. That might not be an issue, right?
Yes, I have my private bathroom.
Yes. But for people who use, joint bathroom, okay,
you have to go very early to queue up.
Very early. So before you see that, you will meet like a 7 bucket on queue, and everybody wants to enter bathroom. In fact, I remember in those days when I was still a student, I rented an apartment outside. The kind of building that I rented in, if you want to have your bath, there are some people that must not enter the bathroom before you, because they can use 3 hours.
Yes.
You will knock and knock and knock and knock and knock. You'll be wondering what they are doing there, but they can use 2 hours. So you target those kind of people. They must not enter before you. So if it's possible by 4:30 for you to enter, take your bath and go back to bed. In fact, some people will. So breakfast also, are there things that must have been available, of course?
Yes, definitely.
Right?
Yes.
There must have been planned, right?
Preparation on ground. It's either what I eat the previous night, I warm it, or I make my beverages available before that.
Okay, good. Warming your car. Okay, yes. There are things you will do. You check your radiator, right?
Check the radiator, the water level, check the oil.
Check the oil.
All that to run for
if you must clean your what's it called? Your screen, your windscreen, your dashboard. If you must wash, some people wash their car, they don't want to go out like that and everything. So all these things, and then you must be able to make sure that you also get the cooperation of your wife, so that when you are ready, you are not waiting for her.
Oh, she's ready, yes.
She's ready also. So you see, these are what the things that work breakdown structure will help you. What have we done? We have broken down the work. And then there is now what we call WBS dictionary. In the WBS dictionary, you will now be, that's where you will now explain all these things in details. In details means that what? You pick waking up. When you pick waking up, for example, you pick this, waking up, and then you start explaining there. I must wake up by 6. And in order for me to wake up by 6, I have to sleep latest by what? 10 p.m. the previous night. You see that? That's what you have supplemented. Because I must take 7 hours or 6 hours what? Good sleep. That's what you have supplemented. Prayer. Explain your prayer also. My prayer commence immediately I wake up by 6 a.m. Maybe my Bible is already close by to me, or I have to wake all my family up for the family prayer. The prayer will take 15 minutes. That's when you state everything also. You go to this, so you state everything one by one like that. That is what breakdown structure you need to do. So let's now look. Thank you so much, Mr. Joseph. Thank you so much. Thank you. Of a great help. So let's look at some professionally built work breakdown structure. So when you look at this, look at something like this. This is the work breakdown structure. The project here is a school building. So there is a school building to be built, and then this person follow, because it depends on the project manager. What your work breakdown structure will help you to achieve, I've stated it. It will help you to carefully attach time frame to every task. In fact, it will even help you to easily allocate tasks to your team members. It will help you to know how long it will take them. It will help you to know the resources that it will take from your budget. So this person starts with what? Okay, school building. He puts initiation, planning, execution, and control, and then put what? Closure. So under the initiation, what are the things we need to do? You need to develop project charter. I explained this in our previous training, that project charter is the official document that initiates a project, that introduces the project, that contains even the project, that introduces the project manager itself. So there's a whole lot of things, even your business case will be in your project charter. It will explain the project from business point of view. So, and here also in the initiation, assigning a project manager, I explained that. So these are the smaller tasks the person will actually do. Now this person can now start. What will it take for us to select a project manager? How long will it take? That's the time. If we attach the time to this, will it cost us anything? If we put the cost. How long will it take us to provide or to prepare our project charter? The time frame. Will it cost us anything? And the cost. All these will be detailed in what we call work breakdown structure dictionary. So there will be, just like you state something and you're now putting remark. So in the dictionary is where you will be putting remarks about all these things. It will make it detailed. But the work breakdown structure will show us the diagrammatic flow. You can see this is just like a diagrammatic flow, like a flow chart. This is a flow chart. So work breakdown structure is just like a flow chart that when you look at it, you see even every smallest unit of task to be carried out in the course of this project. What will this person have to do in planning? He needs to define the scope. He has written it. He needs to develop the schedule, the time frame, and he wants to know what it will cost him. Those are the planning he needs to make. Under his own execution and control, he needs to start building the school building, and then he needs to review it, that is controlling the quality of the building, to be sure that it is in line with with the requirement of the stakeholders. And then in the closure, what will he be doing? Under the closure, he will deliver the product, that's the building, to the project owner, and then he will release the team. Because when you look at it, majority of project team are always, those are the people that you call contract workers. If the project will last for six months, the company can choose to hire people for that 6 months. Once the project is over, you release them, except the company has a PMO, that's project management office. So when they have project management office, that is a dedicated office for projects. When a team is done with a particular project, you reassign them to another project. So there are some companies that run like that. Whereas there are some companies that when a project comes up, they only pick workers from each of their company departments. For example, like the example I gave in the manufacturing industry, when you want to start a project like that, electrical can give us 2 staff, mechanical will give us 2 staff, instrumentation will give us 2 staff, automation will give us 2 staffs. So these 2 staff will be released by their functional manager so that they can go and execute the project. And when the project is over, what happens? We release all of them back to their what? To their units to go and continue with their normal routine activities because the project is over. So this is a kind of work breakdown structure. Let's look at another one. This one is also like office building addition. So this one, they are extending their office building. And then the foundational work to be done, or the foundational task, is that they are going to design it. There will be foundation, there will be structure, there will be mechanical, there will be exterior finishes, there will be interior finishes. They can't break this one down, they can't break this one down, they can't break this one down. They are okay in their unit. But the mechanical work can be further broken down. What are the mechanical work that we need to do in extending this building? There will be elevator, there will be HVAC, that's perhaps the supply, their high voltage supply, and there will be plumbing and electrical. So these are the mechanical work they will carry out. What are the exterior finishing? The bricks, the roof, the doors, and the windows. So they are setting it down so that you can have an awesome view of what the project scope is. How large is the scope of this project? What are all the tasks we have to carry out? So the activities will not be ambiguous. They will not be complex. You have to break them down until they become simple. Something simple that you can easily attach a time frame to. You can attach the resources to in terms of people that will work on it. Because if a particular task is ambiguous, just imagine you attaching 5 people to a work that will take 10 people to do. And it happens to so many supervisors or project coordinators, because sometimes you look at it that it's like they don't even know how big the task at hand is. So when you are giving the work of 10 people to 5 people to do, you are already calling for failure. Even if they rush up to actually deliver, it will affect the quality of the project. Another thing is that if you are giving a project to your team, a project that a task that will take them 20 days, and you say, I want you to deliver it within 5 days. And they want to complain to you, say, well, what are you talking about? What is the thing you want to do? Is it not this simple thing? You can deliver it within 5 days. Because you have not taken your time to break down that particular task and see a whole lot of work, a whole lot of sub-task, a whole lot of sub-task or smaller tasks that will need to be done before you can carry out that task. When you don't do that, it will not make you to accurately attach the time frame, and it will not make you to accurately attach the cost to it. You can attach time to a task, and you can overdo it. You can also under cost a particular task, and you can over cost a particular task when the work breakdown structure is not properly done. So these are examples. I have other examples here. So you can see this is another example. Look at another one. This one is the company holiday party. So in this, what will they have to do? There will be initiation, there will be preparation, there will be execution, there will be follow-up. In order to initiate this holiday party, what do they have to do? Under the initiation, we have to choose the party dates, you see, all the time. We have to decide the kind of food that will be served, decide on the party activities, cost estimation, create party invitation. That's the invite. Now under preparation, we will send invites. So all these things will show us what we need to do. Easily we can say how long will it take us to send invites? What will it cost us to send invites? What medium are we using to send invites? Are we typing letters? Are we printing? Are we going to print invitation? Are we going to use email? Are we going to use SMS? Are we using WhatsApp? Acquire food and beverages. We have known the kind of beverages or the food we want to serve. Are we contracting it out to those people that we actually want to cook for us that day? Or we need to set up some people among the staff that can take care of that? Which venue are we going to use? Under the preparation is where we now book the venue. Create the party playlist. What kind of music will they play on that particular day? We are having a happy moment. They shouldn't be playing funeral songs. So let's carefully select it so that the project will not fail. Execution. Arrive the venue for setup. When should we arrive the venue so that we can set up everything? How do we welcome our guests? Then how do we make sure that people enjoy the party? Maybe there can be some fun games and everything here. Clean up after the party. How do we leave the venue clean after the party? And then the follow-up. Now the party is over. Are we not going to thank all our guests? Send a message to them like, thank you for coming. Follow us of survey for us to know that the people really enjoy it. Get feedbacks from all the staff. Do you enjoy it? Did you really try? The souvenir shared to you. Do you enjoy? Do you like it? How do we improve in our next year get together party? What are the things we have done this year that we should improve on when we are doing another one? Discuss improvement for next year. So also come up even under after you have done survey to get feedback from the staff. So these are various types of work building structure, and you can also do that for any project. So by the grace of God, tomorrow we will continue from we have discussed 4 processes out of 6 processes. So we'll continue with these 2 other processes under project scope management. That's validate scope, control scope, and we have a whole lot of other things to actually discuss alongside with our project scope management, so that when it comes to your project scope, managing it will not be a problem. You will be able to actually set your limits, you will be able to set your boundaries, and you will be able to deliver what the project is actually designed to deliver, what the feature of the project is. So the features of the project will also guide us on the work that we need to input, okay, the work that we need to carry out in order to achieve success on that project. So project scope management, narratively tells us the kind of work, the activities that we need to actually carry out in order to achieve the project that we have at hand. Thank you very much for being with me tonight. So tomorrow we continue with the rest of the 2 processes left for us and other things that we need to discuss. We still have our critical path management to discuss. So all these we'll discuss. We'll continue with that tomorrow. So I hope you've had a very good time with me tonight. Over to you, Mr. Moderator.
Thank you very much. That's a very, very engaging session with our resource person, Mr. James Fanny. Let me bring down the screen. Okay. Yes. So time for questions. Usman Victor, it is not clear, sir. Okay. So please let us know what is not clear. So please, it's time for questions. If you have questions, just signify by raising up your hand so I can call on you to ask your questions. Okay, so please kindly signify by raising up your hands. And if you are not in the place where you can talk or speak at the moment, you can drop your questions in the comment section. So and those who are following us on the YouTube as well, please, if you have a question, you can drop it in the in-message section, the comment section. Okay, so let me start with Usman Victor. Usman Victor, please, you can unmute your mic and ask your question, sir.
Good morning, everyone.
Good
My
morning.
question, someone asked me just yesterday that what's the difference between project management and budget, and it's more like confusing to me, so I was unable to answer him, and I said maybe I will just come to this class today and ask so that I will get more information.
Okay, thank you very much. If I get your question correctly, the difference between project management and budget.
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, well, it's actually a very straightforward answer, but I will leave that to the resource person, trainer, Mr. James Fanny, to respond to. Okay, so thank you very much. You can mute your mic, so while we take other questions. So Jacinta is asking that in drafting project proposals, how ethical is it in infusing the principles of project management in drafting project proposals? Okay, thank you. That is noted as well. So our resource person will respond to that as well. Do we have any other question? Any other question? Anyone? So please just signify by raising up your hands if you have a question for me or for the resource person. Let me check our YouTube channel to see if we have a question from here as well. Okay, at the moment, there is none. Okay, so that being said, let me, okay, Moruf Odusonya. Moruf Odusonya, please, you can unmute your mic, sir.
Okay, hello, good morning. Yeah, thanks for the lecture. I've actually been very, very busy, so I've not been able to actually follow up as I supposed to follow up. But I mean, from my understanding, when you actually, I'm familiar with project management, not as detailed as okay, maybe the way you've actually broken down the maybe all the various courses or topics under the project management. So it's just between the deliverables and the milestones. So it's like maybe from your explanation, the deliverables are like maybe subsets of the milestones. But I would like to know more about okay, maybe what actually differentiate the deliverables and the milestones. Just need a further explanation, sir.
Okay, between deliverables and milestones.
Milestones, yes, sir.
Okay, thank that. Okay, so I would invite our trainer, our resource person, to please take on the mic. Mr. James, over to you, sir. Mr. James, are you there? Okay, so just a minute. So while I try to bring our resource person to respond to those questions, let's quickly take note of the following information. So please, like I did mention, Mr. James, are you there, sir? Okay, so I guess my mic has been off. Did we all hear what I've been saying since morning? I just noticed that my mouth is moving and my microphone was on mute. So sorry about that. Okay, thank you very much. So what I was saying is that while I try to bring our resource person on board, that the few information that we need to get familiar with is that we'll be having a class tomorrow. I mentioned that usually our classes span through Monday to Friday, but because we had a break yesterday, we don't want to affect the duration or the span of days that has been allotted for this training. So a class is scheduled for tomorrow. So please take note of that. Same time, the classroom link is going to be shared because we might be having a different classroom link for tomorrow's class because of the break. So please let us take note of that. And I did mention that, yes, for as many who have not subscribed to our YouTube page, I should please endeavor to do so before as the class progresses, and that every of our recorded videos are dropped there. So you'll be able to have ample access to them whenever you have need for it. So please, let's endeavor to do that. Yeah, so let me try to connect with our resource person again. Mr. James, are you there? Please, can you hear me, sir? Okay. Just a minute, please. So I guess what we are going to do is we have a couple of questions. Let me just take down those questions. And one more from Jacinta Udezi Utsi. She says, the project scope management has two types. That is the planning and monitoring and control. How are the principles listed today under the project scope management categorized under these two? So, okay, I think what you meant is that what the trainer did mention is that the project scope management has two process groups, because they mentioned we have 5 process groups. So all the processes under project scope management are categorized under these 2 process groups. So meaning under project scope management, you have just the planning process group and the monitoring and control process groups. Any other process group is, exempted from project scope management. So as far as project scope management is concerned, every processes that you have, all the ones that he mentioned under WPS and develop project scope statements, they are categorized under these 2 process groups. That is the planning and the monitoring and control process groups. So I think that's what the trainer said about these 2 process groups. Okay, so please, what we are going to do is I've been trying to bring a resource person on board, but I think he's having a bit of network issues because it's not at work, and being that is an holiday period, so I guess that's why he's having that challenge. So what we are going to do is that in tomorrow's class, before we start tomorrow's class, these questions are going to be responded to. Let me just take note of those questions. Just a minute, please. Okay, Mr. Maruf, I can see your hand. You have a question for me?
Yes, because just because of my busy schedule, can I say attend to those questions, as in the question that you sent, to the platform for people to answer?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, sure. Of course. Sure.
Okay, sir.
Okay, can you mute your mic so I'm hearing myself? Okay, thank you very much. Okay, so for those who have not attended to their previous assessments, please, you have time to do that. So please just take your time to attend to those assessments. Why we gave time yesterday was that everyone who has not been able to attend to the assessments will have the opportunity to do that. But nevertheless, we don't want the assessment to be compiled or to become so much that you are struggling to attend to them. So please, you still have ample time to do that. So once you drop it, we'll update the link on their
Okay, sir. Okay, how many have you sent so far?
We have just one assessment.
One, okay.
So we have just one assessment so far. So please try as much as possible to respond to it. So it's a wrap on today's class. Our time is fast spent. So what we are going to do is the questions that we have in today's class, we are going to keep them to tomorrow. So I think we have about 3 questions or thereabouts. So please, in tomorrow's class, we are going to be starting with that, and after which we continue from where we stopped in today's class. So a very big thank you to everyone who has joined us, who has been with us in this class so far. So I appreciate you a lot. And yes, it's holidays. So happy holidays to everyone. So please take time to rest, take time to relax. It's not easy to be in Nigeria, working in Nigeria. The stress of Lagos and every other place is so much. But just take time to rest and have a lovely and enjoyable day ahead. So thank you very much, everyone. So till we meet again tomorrow, bye for now. So you can unmute your mic and tell me bye-bye.
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 Thank you very much. So please,
Yeah, bye-bye. Bye-bye, sir.
Okay. Somebody just joined, but we won't keep anybody waiting. So tomorrow we'll start with the questions that we've had so far. So thank you very much, everyone. Have a lovely day.